Welcome back to another episode of Unknown and Talented Behind the Scenes with your very own Jelan Abrams and Charnae Janice. Happy New Year, Jelan.
Happy New Year.
If you're watching this podcast episode, you'll see that there are two mics. So it looks like you had a good Christmas.
Yeah. I got a Santa brought two mics for me. No, Miss
Hey.
Claus, but two mics. I don't know. Whatever. My girlfriend bought me two mics.
Well, that's cool. Of course, I'm gonna say it's cool because I bought them for you.
I think
But
they're cool. They're cool for you because now you get to talk in the mic. Hopefully
I
you
like, I
hopefully
was a
you in
kid.
the
I
mic
always wanted
enough.
to be like in the studio, have a headset on, have the mic. And so this is just, it feels very legit. I'm a fan. So I did this mostly for you, small piece for me as well, because I knew this would be fun for me. So
Yeah.
it's a
Hopefully you
gift
talking
that
in the
keeps
mic though.
on giving. Well, it's my first time. So if I'm doing it wrong, y'all gonna bear with me. Give me some grace because this is my first time talking on the mic. Any other noteworthy gifts that you got for Christmas?
Well, I got two of the same gifts, which is kind of funny. So as y'all know me, I'm into self-help and always improving. So I heard about a book called Atomic Habits, and I've just been talking about it, and ended up getting it twice. My girlfriend bought it, like I said, Miss Claus, Santa Claus, whatever you want to call her, and then my aunt bought me another one. So we got two books.
Nice, nice. So, from this, understanding of having two books, we decided to start a book club. So, if anyone wants to join virtually, we're on what chapter you on now? 4? I'm on
I'm
chapter
on
4. You're
chapter.
on,
You read another chapter? Don't be
maybe I'm
don't be
on
lying
3.
for the audience
Am I
now.
on 3? You're on 4. I'm
I'm
on
on
3.
4. You're on
Okay, I'm on
3.
3.
Oh, you try
Uh,
to. No, we gotta be honest. This is book club.
anyway, I'm on chapter 3. Jalan's on chapter 4, so we're still very early
That's right.
in this process. Feel free to join along audio book. We can put the link in there. It's not an affiliate link, unfortunately, but go ahead and get your version. But within this, it's been making us think a lot about our habits. Just thinking about growing and changing. And I think one thing it made me think about was just where do I even get my habits from? So I guess thinking about that, we chatted about it a little, but when you think about your habits, whether it be good habits, bad habits, what are some of the sources you found that curated those for you?
Well, first of all, I get all my bad habits from my parents. I blame them. All the bad habits is from my parents. That's it. I do all the good stuff.
Oh boy. All right. I would not co-sign that. You have wonderful parents that taught you lots of great habits. One habit you did not get from your parents is being heavy-handed with seasoning, but we won't talk about that.
Okay. Why? This is the new year, right? Come on now. Okay. So, yes, definitely a lot of habits. I'll say one habit that I do have is eating breakfast in the morning. I feel like that's something that everybody doesn't do. At a young age, I realized that was an important meal. Like my dad always made sure to make breakfast for me, and then once I got to high school, that was a wrap for that. So I ended up making breakfast myself. So that was something that I would take till now. It's just so important, especially like me wanting to work out. Like it's important to eat meals. So yeah, that's something that habit that I do every day. Make breakfast. No matter if I'm late for work, I'm about to make some breakfast because I'm about to have a good day.
Well, hey, for me, a habit that I started, so I lived with my aunt for a season after I graduated. I worked at her daycare center and stayed with her. And so, when you're staying with your auntie, if you've ever stayed with a family member, then like I'm gonna live by their rules, right? Like I'm staying here rent free. Least I can do is just honor their space. And one thing that was really important for her was like making up the bed, and so that's where that habit started. I wake up every day. I make up the bed because I mean we got up early because the daycare opened early because people need to drop their kids off before work. But she was like, hey, like when you get up, spread your bed before you leave this house, and I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to get out the bed. But that's where that started. So that
That's
was because of
funny.
her.
That's funny. Yeah, we didn't spread the bed in my house. So I told you all of that perhaps from my parents. Just joking. No, but we didn't spread the bed at my house. So it's just funny. It's like when I did go to New York for like my grandparents, they're like, you ain't spread the bed, you ain't make the bed, and it's like we're not used to doing that. Even to this day, I try, Like Charnae got the extra fancy stuff, but I tried to spread my bed. I tried to keep up, but yeah, I really don't.
Hey, well, it's never too late to learn new habits. But there are certain times in your life where it's like you're a little bit too old for bad habits. Usher released a song within like what the last couple years. I can't even say what year it came out,
Mhm.
called Bad Habits. And I remember listening to the words and I was like, sir, you are too grown singing about what you singing about right now. You are a little old for these bad habits. You're not, fresh 21, 22 year old singing this song. You'd be like, that's really sad. You messing up your love life because you had too many last night, baby. You should get some help. But there's still time for you. At this point, I'm like, baby, you grown. Whoever put this song on your desk and was like, this is good for you, they should have rethought that because ain't nothing cute about somebody his age talking about you had too many last night. You messing up your love life. Do better. You old.
I think that's the truth, though. We get too much fake stuff in music. Talk about your bad habits. Some people got bad habits.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's a lie. I'm just saying that he needs to pick up this book, Atomic Habits, and he needs to do better if that's his real life. Because that's unfortunate. If anybody's that age and that's your dilemma, please also, in the link, get this book.
I think it's good to. I think the first time, the first way to change is you have to. What's the word they use? You gotta know you got a problem first. That's the first thing. So that was step one of recovery. Step one of recovery is that he got a problem, and he gonna sing about it. The next song, what was the next song? I don't know. He probably got over the bad habit. I don't know, but
I don't know. I don't know. I just really hope that's really not his life. Sometimes people just sing songs about things and they know it's catchy. So, Usher Raymond, I hope that's the truth. I hope you really don't have those habits at this age, sir. But if you do, link is in the bio.
if you're enjoying this episode, make sure you leave a review on the Unknown and Talented podcast page. Also, subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment and like it and share to all your friends. Do all of that stuff because I paid way too much money for this ad for y'all not to do something. So y'all gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to figure it out. Okay? The only way things grow is word of mouth. Y'all gotta word of mouth. Y'all gotta spread the love. Same way I'm spreading y'all love, I'm motivating you, I'm helping you change your life. You gotta help change my life too. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. I can't just give, because after a while, if I don't get enough likes, this podcast is gonna be over anyway. So come on now, make sure y'all share it, review, subscribe, comment, like, all that stuff. Thank you, appreciate it. But question though, how do you know a habit is a bad habit? Because we do so many things every day, like not even thinking about it. Like for example, for me, I'm much better at it now. When I get up, I press my alarm. I'm right on Instagram right away. I hit my alarm on my phone. Oh my gosh, well, what did they talk about there? That's like the first thing you see in the morning. But how do you know that's a bad habit? How do you know that's a problem?
I think the habits, at least so far from what we're reading about, at the end of the year, one big piece that he spoke about is like 1% getting better. And so when you have positive habits, when you look back over the cadence of a year, a couple of years, there's growth there. In contrast, if you look back over your year and to his point when he's singing about in the song where it's like, I keep messing up. It's like, it's a clear understanding that something is not right here and that there's a consistent habit correlated. So a lot of people, I think, know they have bad habits. It's just they feel like they start taking that on as who they are, which the book speaks to as well. Like if your habits start aligning with your identity, then you have to have a distinct understanding of like, wait, do I want this to be who I am? Do I want to be someone who's always messing up my love life? Or do I want to be a faithful husband and a good father, right? Those are the things that are correlating with like your decisions because each habit, each decision you make would be like, is having another one, if that's going to be one too many, the habits of someone who's going to be a faithful partner. If that's not the habit, then you're going to put that tequila down.
I think it's harder. I mean, easier said than done. It's we all every single year, especially this is the new year. Every single year we make New Year's resolutions, and then if you actually go back and look at your old resolutions, it's the same thing it was last year. The same exact thing. Not yours. I'm just saying people in general. Because I just remember growing up. This was actually a good habit. My parents got some good habits, but but I remember like each year we did 10 things on resolutions. Like we had 10 resolutions that we made, and then we put it on top of like they used to have like the china cabinet. So we had like the big all the. I don't know why people have china cabinets for. Why do you have glass that you can't use? Isn't that crazy?
No, it's decorative.
I think it's kind of. I think it's like a museum in your house, but it's like for plates and stuff. So like if I'm hungry and I need a fork and there's one in the china, I'm taking that thing out the china. We never had forks in there, but I'm just saying it's just like
I was about to say, I don't think. Usually it's more platters, but I digress.
yeah, I didn't see a fork in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
platters, cups, and it was a bunch of stuff. But like I said, we did list of 10 things. We put it on top of the china cabinet, and then like close to the end of the year, we look at it and say, hey, what did we do? So I think that was kind of a good habit. But a lot of times we were writing down the same habits every single year because we didn't complete it last year. So as I said, I think it's easier said than done. Like you have a problem, but having that habit it's hard to break.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely a layer of intentionality needed to not only have the resolve to be aware of your habits, but to then start making intentional decisions about what it looks like to adjust them. Like if I'm not happy with my day to day life and there's a habit that correlates with that, then that's to your first question. Like, how do you start knowing that they're bad habits? If everyone around you has this habit and the life that they're living isn't the life that you're trying to live, then that might be a bad habit, right? There's some early cues of like, maybe this isn't something that's productive for me.
True. I like that. But also I'm thinking about, for example, social media, right? Social media is a release because your day is stressed out. So you might not be where you want to be in life, but that's a tool that you use to kind of escape that. That's technically a bad habit. You don't want to be scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on social media all day. But what do you do in place of that to be able to keep you sane?
Something that's actually aligned with what you want to do. Like for me, a big piece of like focus for this year is cutting out distractions. Social media being one of them, right? Like you said, we like to enjoy it, but also I think thinking about like my habits and identity, I want it to be someone who doesn't consume social media for escapism. I want to consume it for creative encouragement, maybe inspiration, because I think that also changes your cadence. If I'm like, okay, if I need inspiration for meals, I want inspiration for different DIY projects, things for the home, then when I started curating my timeline, then anything that was more escapism, anything that's more, oh, look at them, oh, look at that, start unfollowing, started clearing that out so that the only things that pop up are lock hairstyles because I need inspiration for I go see my homegirl, get my
Shout out.
retwist.
Look at her hair. Ben. Look, turn your hair around a little bit, baby.
Ew,
Come on now. Come on now.
ew,
All right.
ew,
All right.
ew. So I'm looking at that. I'm making sure that we're eating healthy meals, gluten-free meals. I'm looking at things that are curating our home, right? So that's that's the focus. So I think you have to be intentional. If you use it for good, it can still be good. But so that way, there's still a way to feel released, to feel escape when I'm enjoying things like my real life. Like I'm tapping into my real life, enjoying getting my real hair done, and I'm not just watching to look at other people and be like, oh my god, look, she got such good edges. Oh my god, I wish I had more edges. It's like, well, you gotta look at hairstyles with the edges you got, baby, or get you some stick on edges and then order you some. They make stick on edges. The girls that know, but I mean, get you some and then go about your business and keep it pushing. But you don't scroll all day looking at other girls' edges like, what must be nice. Nobody, that like don't nobody wanna hear that all the time. That's not encouraging. I don't know how we was talking about hair, but
Yeah. Yeah. You just went far. I don't even remember what my question was. What was my question?
your question was thinking about social media. A lot of people use it for escapism. So I was just thinking about using it more strategically, not for escapism. Actually, like enjoying your life. Don't feel like you need to escape your life. Find things to enjoy in your real life.
I don't know. I just think because it's more than social media. Because I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's so many things people use for escaping. People use drinking on the weekends. People use cigarettes. People use Hardcore drugs. People use a lot of things for escape. So how do you find those healthy ways to escape?
I mean, I think it's less about escaping, and it's just more about the things that make you feel like you,
Hmm.
and that make you feel joy and content in
Hmm.
your day-to-day
I
life.
like that.
Because I think it's the complete opposite. If you're looking for an escape, then those things are escapes. That's how people get caught in them. It's a rabbit hole. I'm not looking for an escape. I'm looking for something that highlights the goodness that's already in my life.
She's spitting, y'all.
So yeah, I think that's the thing. If your social media is for that, then if you really have a green thumb, you love plants, then your social media doesn't have to be filled with other people that are doing things that you hope to do or want to do. Maybe fill it up with people who are
Mm.
really deep into their green thumb and they're enjoying that. Like, even if maybe you only get to be in your home city, find people in your city,
I like
different
that.
plant shops and things. Like, find the joy in your life. Stop looking for joy in other people's,
Hmm.
thinking that's gonna give you joy. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
I like that. I like how you said five. Cause I was about to say, let's get away from the social media. Talk more about what you can do. Like recently, we got a plant. You want to shout out the plant?
Oh, we do. His name is Samuel.
Samuel L. Not Samuel, not Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel
Samuel,
L.
Samuel, like the prophet. For me, Samuel, like Samuel Jackson. Either way, Samuel's a strong, solid, blessed name, and so that's the name, Samuel, the snake plant, baby. Okay.
So even that was a cool journey because we were looking at YouTube videos of different things and we want to get more greenery. So it was definitely something cool. But if that's something you're into, that's kind of like you said, not really your escape, but find the joy because now you're walking up and down Lowe's, walking up and down Home Depot, and seeing how bad some of them plants were. Some of them plants were
They
struggling.
was down bad, baby.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody's green thumb could have saved them.
Yeah, they were kind of bad. So we found one good. We probably should have brought on the show. Come on now, we should have brought them. But we found one good snake plant. It's pretty small, and we're just gonna
And let them
enjoy it.
grow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because we had another plant that died, so we was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So we the snake plant. If y'all don't know too much about snake plants, they say that they're pretty easy to water and take
And
care
hard to
of.
kill.
Yeah, you
And
gotta.
that's what we needed.
Yeah, because actually the way you kill them is by over watering it. So you can honestly just set it on the floor and forget about it. That's
And
my
that's
kind of
what we're going to do.
that's my kind of green thumb right there. Yeah, yeah. So what are
You
what are
missed it.
other what are other things people can do to enjoy life? I'm sorry, you said something.
I'm sorry, I was trying to dap you up.
Oh,
I think it looks like just building habits around the things that you love. So whatever that looks like for you, if you love food, one thing that we started looking at is Tabitha. Honey, I love looking at Tabitha Brown. So there's a lot of dietary restrictions that I have for certain reasons. There's ones that Jelan has out of discipline. But for me this year is really about like a habit of not only honoring those boundaries for our eating, but also enjoying food. So that's something that I want to do, habits of finding tasty food that's healthy food, right? So I've been following some vegan pages and things. We're not going
we
vegan.
gonna vegan,
Don't
y'all.
don't put that
Listen.
on me.
When we
But
started
it's
dating, I told her we gonna be vegan in a couple years, and she's
and I
she's
told him that wasn't gonna happen.
and she's over here looking up vegan stuff herself. I'm not even
just
pushing it.
just
I'm
because
not even
it's
pushing it.
Tab, but that's Auntie Tab. So I just wanted to figure out how to get more, having some meals throughout the week that don't even have meat and that are still filling. I just think that's a cool concept. It's one I'm open to. I'm not going vegan though.
Nigga,
You
watch.
heard it
Okay,
here
well, we
first.
gonna save. What's today's
I'm
date?
not.
We gonna save this episode so y'all gonna see when she has the episode. We vegan, y'all.
I don't sound like that. But that's some of the ways I think about. What do you think about when thinking about building good habits and finding joy in like everyday life?
Yeah, I think it's just doing what you love. Like for example, I bought this camera. We bought these mics so we can not really escape but enjoy life. Like this is something that we're sitting down just having conversations that we always have. We just actually recording this one. And that's something that's fun, and you can spend time of not really escaping life, but you're enjoying life, like you said. So I got the camera, I go to the gym, I record. Like I don't only just work out, I record it. I do everything that's just fun for me. I'm editing all day. Like this is what I'm doing. So I'm not escaping life. I'm not doing something just to like flatten my mind out. I don't know if you ever heard of like TVs like the idiot box. You never heard of that? Okay. So yeah, they used back in the day. They used to call the TV like the idiot box because the only thing you're doing is just watching it, and your brain's basically turning to mush. So that's basically the same thing. Now we have an idiot box in our hand where you're just looking at stuff that don't make any sense or not teaching you anything. You just kind of turn your brain to mush. So it's always good to find things outside of the idiot box.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I think it's important to remember that like inspiration does not just come from, even though social media can be a great way to find it, TV user can be a great way to find it. The inspiration for this podcast came from a book. Reading is still fundamental, okay? It's still fundamental. Pick up a book, get an audio book. Please read more.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with an audiobook either.
Yeah,
At
good
first,
stuff.
I'm not a big fan of audiobooks because I kind of want to like stop the book and go back and do different things, kind of know where I'm at. But audiobooks is cool too. I just feel like you're just gonna be going through the book pretty quick through audiobook.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I think about people who have long commutes and things like that.
True, true.
Audiobooks a good way to
Podcast too,
podcast,
unknown and
put
talented.
us on, turn it up,
That's something
a little
you
louder.
need to check out too.
Do that.
All right, but let's get back into the book and principles that we've learned in the book. So one thing that we learned in the book, pretty much like early on, was like the small habits. So people always think about, like we said, the big thing, trying to escape in life or trying to find big things. But what is like the small things that people can do to change?
I mean, I think it all depends on your life. One thing about this book is that he's giving a lot of insight into small steps that you can take, and what that looks like is different for every single person, just based on what your goals are. But he set this really intentional trajectory of understanding the identity of what you want to align with, and then what it looks like to be 1% better. So, like the example he uses has to do with bicyclers in the first chapter, right? Like, are we bicyclers? We about to be. You know what? Let's get into it. We about to be bicyclists. Now that's something we will be by the end of this year. But anyway, I digress. But talking about this bicycling team,
Sorry, go ahead.
and how they were doing small things to increase like the 1% of like their uniform, 1% of the tires, 1% of the seat, 1% of the rest. So when looking at your life, if there's things about your restfulness you want to increase, if there are things about your meals, things about how you plan, how you organize your day. Like there's always one small thing that you can do to improve that, and just finding those small places. Pastor Hunt, he preached the house down today. Can we put that in the bio too? Put the book, put this sermon as well. I know we plug in links because I really want you to hear this and not just be like, oh, that was cute. Jelan is cute. I'm a fan. I want you to really hear it and start thinking about your life and like, what are some habits, some small ways.
All right, I don't want you to go too far.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cause
We got to go back and forth. Like it's
Okay,
a
okay.
conversation
I'm
now.
so sorry.
So I do like how you gave that example of the bike, but I kind of want to give y'all a better like visual of what's going on. So if you think about a sprint, you think about everybody's running 100, right? The person that gets first place got whatever time. The person that got second place lost by point zero something seconds. So it's something that person did for when that Olympic race came for them to win. It's not in that they did that day, it's what they did before. So it's that one day that you didn't feel like working out or training or stretching or doing something. That's how you lost the race. You didn't lose the race there. So I just love how the book is just saying 1% better every day, because that's a minor thing. And then once you lose by point zero 0.02, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who won the silver medal. We know the what's the guy's name? Gosh, he's Jamaican too.
Apparently, you don't know who won
Jeez.
too.
What's his name? 'Cause it was a long time ago too. Hey, I was about to say Barack Obama. It's not Barack Obama. What is his name? I'm about to get mad. Gosh. Jamaican, we cut this out. No, this is too bad. This is too bad. The Jamaican runner. You know it too. You're not gonna say it. You just go. You stay quiet then. Come on now. What's his name?
This is too funny to me.
Oh my gosh. What's his name
Are you
for?
talking about Usain Bolt?
Yes, there we go. There we go. Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt. Gosh, Lee. You can't help me out. I'm out here drowning. You gotta when you mess it up, I throw you a bone. All right. All I'm saying is that you know who the first person is. You don't know who second place is. So those minor things that you do for whenever that race is, it might not be a race in your life. It might be like a speech. Let's say you're a speaker, and then you do little things to get better to get prepared for that speech, so you don't fail on that speech. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm done talking for the day. You got it. You can run the podcast. I'll let you drown.
Love you too, babe.
Love you.
That was a great point. Great point, Jelan. Um, would you like to continue to?
I don't even know where I'm going after this. But basically, we're just saying the small things in life, and then you were gonna go ahead because you were going after that. Yeah,
Okay, got you.
you started talking about pastor and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The message you preached today was just really insightful. Thinking about those same types of cadences of just taking it one day at a time, one win without your mind sort of wandering to thinking about the whole year or years later or one day win, but just thinking about a win you can complete each day. And then to your point, that small percentage is adding up over the time of a year, and just being at peace with the process that's aligned with getting there. But also,
One more thing, I'm sorry, because
yeah.
I kind of thinking now. Yeah, the reason why I brought the Olympics up is because the Olympics are every 4 years. So you have 4 years to get ready for, might be more than one race, but you got legit 4 years to get ready for one race. So that's a long period of time. So you can't wait till that last year to say, oh man, it's coming up soon. I'm about to go crazy. You got 4 years to do it. Or especially like you run that race, Usain Bolt just beat you. What you gonna do? Now you got to get ready for the next 4 years. You have races in between, but nobody really watches those races. Like it's coming up now, the Olympics. People are gonna start gearing up for it. The only person that doesn't watch the Olympics is Simone Biles' husband. He's the only one that watched the Olympics. Everybody else gonna be tuned in watching.
Oh boy.
I'm just,
All right, see what happens when I hand you the mic. You got to be petty. So,
I'll just say that's kind of wild though. That's kind of wild, but it is what it is. Hey,
all right.
I'm saying I might know who she is, but not know her name. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. If we get in a spot like that, I'm gonna be like, I ain't gonna be like that. I ain't even know who she was.
I mean, we didn't know. We didn't know.
I'm still gonna say I knew you.
That's beautiful. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
How long you gonna tell him you knew me for?
5 years.
Solid. I respect that.
Go ahead.
Lost
go
my whole
ahead.
train of thought now. You're so silly. All right, so
So one day win. There you go.
one day wins. One day wins. Thinking about your habits, just those small intervals of change, of growth, and intentionality for that. One thing that he said in the book that I liked is when thinking again about that identity and your wins, is that, every day may not be the same day of feeling that success. It might feel like a smaller task or just maintaining that momentum by not reverting to old habits. But even within that, like, just he used it in the analogy of votes. So like you don't have to get every single vote to win an election, but you just need to have more votes aligning with who you want to be, more habits aligning with who you're trying to be than the habits that are pulling you backwards towards things that don't support your growth. So I think thinking about it holistically, we're not telling anyone that you have to be perfect every single day. It's going to be a day where all of your habits align. But the more you're intentional about those small things that you can do each day, then when you look back over cadences of months and years and weeks, you're going to see that growth.
Yeah, and a habit that I'm definitely changing. I kind of briefly talked about it is being on social media because I do so much. I record a podcast, edit a podcast, got a fitness Instagram, work. I do so many different things. So thinking about 24 hours in a day, how much time are you going to spend on social media or on mindless things? I know we have the screen time on the phone. I'm spending 5 hours, 6 hours on my phone. Some of that time is productive, but 5 hours in a day out of 24, and how much you sleeping for, so you don't really have that much time. So you just got to make sure that those little small minutes, minutes, seconds you're using is for production.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, um, a habit I spoke a little bit too about is just eating well.
Hmm.
Just small habits of like, not go out. Just being intentional to not eat things. I've been under the constraints of being gluten free, and so not trying to test the limits of that when I
Hmm.
go out. Small habits of just eating what has the gluten free little marker sticker on it on the menu,
Yeah.
and then when we're at home eating that, just making sure that small habit of whatever we've cooked, that's what I'm eating, and not looking at them and feeling like I want that and going to get Popeyes instead. So it's small things every day that I eat healthy and eat things that are honorable to my palate. I'm choosing to be someone who is not chaotic to my digestive system, and that's the identity that I want to have. So,
So that you made a good point. So we started off by talking about habits, how not really knowing, well, I said not really knowing if a habit is good or bad. So now you have something in your life is when the minute you eat something, now you know that's a bad habit. You get the automatic effect of that hurting you. Like me on social media for 5 minutes, I don't know how that's going to affect me, but you eating something that's gluten, it affects you right away. How have you adjusted to that? I know you said you're working on it, but how have you adjusted to every time you eat it, you know it's going to be an effect right after?
I mean, I think it took a while to accept the fact that like I had to change my diet. At first, I didn't realize what was triggering discomfort. But then once I realized what it was trying to find things that were still in my budget that I could eat and enjoy. It's now having conversations with people. So even thinking about your habits, there might be people you have to have conversations with. Now, when I go home and I go to other people's homes to eat food, oh, I can't have that, or no, thank you for things that I won't. I really want that mac and cheese, but unless the noodles are gluten free, that's gonna tear me up. So it's a lot aligned with what you spoke about last week with your boundaries and honoring yourself. Your habits will start aligning with having to set those boundaries too. But to your point, there's certain things you feel immediately. There's certain things that over time you'll feel, but regardless, your habits are gonna catch up with you.
So, talking about habits more and talking about having those people in your life, how has having to not only your diet, but I'm pretty sure other habits you have to change that everyone else isn't doing. So, like for example, we going out to eat, Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner with family, you can't eat those rolls. You can't eat that. So, what other habits have you changed just for yourself that you probably haven't grown up seeing?
Ooh. Um, I think there are financial habits that I've tapped into. My parents created a lot of good habits thinking about being really mindful with like your budget and numbers. But when it came to like investing and like not only saving money, but then growing that money, those were new habits. And I had to tap into online courses and trainings and financial digital advisors and things like people who understood that landscape because I wanted to make sure that like financially I was situating myself not only for this moment but also for the future. So that was creating like a different trajectory of habits that they didn't necessarily have like the insight for, but it was still something I knew I needed to curate.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, a habit that I built that made like a lot of difference for me is just getting into the world of like self help and everything. Like my dad introduced it to me. That's a good habit for my dad as well. Come on, now. I wasn't thinking when I started. I was getting a lot of good habits from my parents, but a book that my dad had me read when I was super young was Rhinoceros Success. So it's like the book is like probably 20 pages. The words are big, but it's about like different habits about waking up early, about having saving money. It was just so many different things about like you want to be this rhinoceros, like you're thinking about this big solid creature, and you want to make sure that you're moving into a way that that creature will kind of move. So then that got into looking into Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is one of my favorite books, and that habit was if you haven't seen Rich Dad, if you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's a really good book to read. But But that was just talking about how you're being around different people can change your habits. So the rich dad, poor dad. So his dad was the poor dad, right? He was working at a shop where one of his friends' dad was the rich dad. So he was just watching his dad move and like his dad making movements. He's like, oh, he does things different. I don't remember because I can read the book in a minute, but his dad did different things than his dad. So he started like following what this guy's dad was doing, ended up changing his life. So even though you're around, a certain environment or a certain, family members that do certain way, that's fine. You don't got to like talk bad about them. But when you find the other way, you can't go back to that other life because everything else is going to be different.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it lands in this space of your identity starts to shift too with your habits
Yeah.
and how you see yourself. Like for them to differentiate between rich dad, poor dad, it's now not only these habits, but now I align myself with someone who's wealthy. That's my identity.
Yeah.
So now the choices I make and the habits I have to align with wealth. I can't create habits that align with poverty. That's not even I don't want anything to do with that. So that's really where the huge shift starts to take place that the book speaks to is when you start looking at yourself as that person that aligns with your habits.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, the reason why, I work out and wake up so early, like I wake up at 5 o'clock, like it's ridiculous. I wake up at 5. But the reason why I do these things is because reading more books. I was reading a book on Steve Harvey. I was reading a book on Kevin Hart. I think Russell Simmons. I know you wasn't gonna help me out. So I was reading a book on Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, and Russell Simmons, and every single one of them woke up early. Like Russell Simmons did yoga. Steve Harvey got the morning show on the radio. He got so many different things. He has to wake up early. Kevin Hart woke up early to work out. So all these people that, I'm reading a book and being inspired by, I'm like, I want a life that they have. I want a life, or not what they have, but similar to what they have. I have to do the things that they do. So then I started waking up like at 4 o'clock, setting my alarm. It was crazy. I was just like, yeah, why am I up at 4? That's why I was living with my parents. They sleeping. Their habits are not going to be the same thing. So it was different. I remember going to bed early. It was like 9 o'clock. They're watching the NBA game. I'm like, all right, good night, guys. And they up there watching it, laughing. I could hear them. So it's just like, looking outside of yourself, there's going to be a lot of different habits, but you got to know where you want to go. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not bashing my family or any habits they have, but just knowing where you want to go. It doesn't have to always be with the people that you don't have to always be the same as the people around you. If you want more, you got to, do more.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's just an interesting pivot of as you start creating those habits, then you'll also start aligning with other people that have more of those habits as well. I look at my friend group and my peers and my colleagues, and as I started moving in different ways financially, then I started aligning with more people that had those same type of habits, and then tapping into more networks of like thoughts and ways to create additional streams and things I hadn't even considered before. So you'll still have, like you said, that alignment with people that you love. And if anything, maybe be that connecting piece for them to think about additional habits as they see the blessings and growth curated in your life. But then you'll also start connecting with people that'll continue to be the catalyst for you to do the work.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just want to, shout out to my mom because what I did, I changed reading these books, changed my habits of wanting to go into the gym, being healthy because I'm up anyway. I'm up at 4 o'clock and anyway. So I ended up changing my habits of being, in shape, working out because I wanted to improve who I was. And, that made my parents want to start getting back in the gym. When people get older, they're like, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to chill. Make my parents get back in the gym. But the reason why I want to shout my mom out is because she was working out. She ended up hurting her ankle working out. So she's just doing some regular thing, ended up breaking her ankle. She's gone for, oh boy, I gotta do that again. Okay. So I just want to shout my mom out is because, she's just working out, doing what she had to do. And she ended up breaking her ankle, just doing a regular little slide move. After she broke her ankle and ended up getting healthy again, she went right back into the gym. Is because now that's her identity. Her identity is somebody that works out. In life, you're going to want to try to do things and things are not going to work out, it's going to be easy to quit. I wouldn't even blame her. I'm like, you broke your ankle doing it. Okay, you can quit. You don't got to work out forever. But now she's working out for Christmas. She ended up getting a bunch of workout clothes because
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's on her list. But once it's your identity, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It definitely starts just tying more into who you are. So I think it's a great place to start. We're definitely going to chat more about habits. Like I said, we're just
Wait a minute.
early.
We're not done. What things are you doing to help the people around you? What kind of habits have you changed that's helps improve? I know, gotta help somebody out.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, if you watching, you'll see a little bit of my office. So a lot of the creative decor projects that I do inspires my mom and my sisters, and like different colleagues I have will ask me about like little DIY things they can do in their homes, or like little aesthetic things. And so it tickles me because I don't think too much about it, to be honest. I just love curating aesthetics. I love doing it. But my sister will call me and be like, "Wait, I'm trying to like move stuff around in this room," and sometimes I don't even have an answer. But I just really do appreciate that they think of me that way, to think about aesthetic things for their home and building out decor. And so it's something I want to pour more into, sharing that gift with people, because I think I'm starting to realize that it really is a gift. It's something that everybody doesn't naturally curate. So helping to coordinate that, and then even just conversations I have with people about financial things and ways to invest, and just solid long-term things. Is not anything wow that you have to tap into every day, but just consistent, slow and steady investing that will create additional streams and thinking about your future. So I think I have a lot more of those conversations with my family and my friends now, because I'm starting to see the harvest reap from sowing those seeds of things in my life, and I'm seeing like, oh wow, like this is something that's really impactful and that can touch people. So
Yeah, that's beautiful. You can wrap it up now. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you pointed, because you're doing great things as well. So it's definitely things that you're doing that's outside the box that affecting people. Like I've been spreading the bed. I'm lying.
I was about to say, what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When?
Wrap it up,
When
baby.
did you spread the bed? But yeah, this will be one of probably many conversations that will start the year off on. So just leaning into the thoughts around your habits and your goals, and then sharing what it looks like for us in our journey. One thing you said at the beginning, you're like, it's the new year, you got the same things. Yeah, that's not us. No shade to anybody if this is where you're sitting right now, because a year from now can look completely different. But it's not us, and it's not us because we're more special or more grand. It's us because each day we're holding each other accountable. Find someone to be accountable with you. We're having meetings with each other about our goals. We're checking in. Find someone else who wants to partner with you and say like, no, like when we hit 2025 and I look back over a year in my life, like I'm going to be in a different position.
No, yeah. I gotta say it too. So you looking at me like I gotta say it too?
No, I was just looking
Oh,
at you because
2025, I'll be a different position. You just looked at me like it was supposed to. They say,
like it's a church and you got to repeat it.
Yeah, repeat after me. Okay. 2025, I'll be in a different position. We'll be in a different position.
All right. Hey, look, that's all I got. That's why I was looking at you. I didn't want to go to wrap it up and you had something else to
Oh
say.
no, I'm
So,
done. I'm done. We've been talking too. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a minute. So yeah, we've been talking.
all right. Well, we appreciate you listening. If you're at this point in the podcast, please comment, like, subscribe. If you're going to start reading along with us, drop that in the chat. Like I said, we'll put some links for some of the books we spoke to, just so you can get that resource and take your time, highlight your books, read your books. Let us know anything that stands out to you as you're reading. Really appreciate you just taking time to listen and to think about your day to day. So until next time, it's been Charnae Janice, your very own Jelan Abrams. Hey, think about your habits. Make one of your habits being easy. Hey, a habit of being easy. I like that. Maybe I don't. That sounds sort of bad. Like being easy. Like it sounds sort of sleazy.
listen. Say it again. Then say it again.
Never mind. Maybe don't make that a habit. But
Being easy.
Be easy. I start thinking like easy, like sleazy easy. Not like easy, not like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. That's the kind of easy I mean. Like lax and cute. Not easy like ha 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 ha.
All
Because
right, we gotta
that's
wrap
two
it. All right,
different.
guys. Thanks for listening. Jelan and Charnae. I don't know what you got going on over there. We're out. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, leave a comment. If you are reading the book, let us know. We're gonna, I don't know, should we do more episodes of talking about the book or?
Probably. We'll probably drop some more heat.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think we're gonna do like specific episodes of just the book. We're gonna probably add it into other stuff we talk about. But yeah, if you're reading the book, let us know and we would update y'all on the next episode. All right, we out. All right, we're gonna be easy, guys.
I just said it.
Okay,
You want
be
to say?
easy.